All right, Buffalo Bills, they wanted Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen considered them. It was close between Washington and Buffalo. Olsen goes to Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to have. We talked about this last week. Would have been nice to have at 5. I don't think I need him at 7. $7 million is too much money for Greg Olsen. And, they say the $5.5 million is guaranteed. If Olsen's there the whole season, he's going to make $7 million. I know the Bills have the money to spend, but the trap that this franchise has gotten into before is we have it, so we'll just spend it. And I do like the fact that Brandon Beane is holding off on just opening a purse. Now, it could be the fact that he didn't want to play in Buffalo, but there are enough connections, and I think they could have paid him enough, Carl, where they could have got him if they really wanted him.
Yeah, and I think this is a big miss for the Bills. For a couple reasons. Olsen's still a good player. You look, last year, I think he had 58, 59 catches with me playing quarterback, and I don't really have very much of an arm left anymore. He still can play. He's a leader. He's, McDermott Beane, veteran leader in each group. With Tommy Sweeney and with the young kid Dawson Knox, they've got young talent at tight end. Adding him to that group would have been that veteran leader in the room. And here's the real reason. Tyler Kroft and Lee Smith, negatives in my opinion at that position for the Bills. They add up to around $9 million this year. To your point, you didn't want them at 7? Mm-hmm. I don't want those two at 9. I'll pay Greg Olsen 9 before I pay those two 9.
All right, listen, I understand where you're coming from on that, but I look at it like this. You got lucky that you had Dawson Knox and even Tommy Sweeney flash the way that he did when Tyler Kroft went down last season. Olsen has more of an injury history than Tyler Kroft does. Now, granted, he didn't play all last season, essentially, but that touchdown catch does clinch the playoff berth for the Buffalo Bills. My concern would be you bring in Olsen to be that leader, something happens to him, which is inevitable at his age with his history, and now you've got that $7 million locked up in a guy that's not playing, not in your dressing room, not able to help out the young tight ends. You're not going to fall into another Dawson Knox this season like you fell into a guy coming out of the draft last year because you're not going to draft a tight end signing Greg Olsen.
Well, the one thing I will say about this, Olsen's decision was based on Russell Wilson, which I have to say is not fair against Allen because obviously Wilson is a Super Bowl winning 2-time going to the Super Bowl quarterback. But the other thing, does it lead to believe now that people who will look at Buffalo as a destination want to see more out of Allen and put pressure on him this upcoming season?
Yeah, and I think one name to watch there might be Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper may not be signed by the Dallas Cowboys. He will likely be the number 1 wide receiver free agent if that's the case. And the Bills will probably be all in. A guy like Cooper, does he want to come to Buffalo to play with Allen? And I think it's a fair point. Look, Russell Wilson, he's top 3 quarterback in the league. Any guy who catches the ball, sign me up to play with him. I think that's unfair. But when it comes down to playing with Josh Allen or maybe playing with Lamar Jackson, I think guys are going to go to Baltimore over Buffalo.
Any interest in A.J. Green?
No, absolutely not. I want no part of that. His age, his injury history again brought up. The fact that he's been the only show in that town the entire time. If you were surrounded with more talent, does he disappear? It is way more of a risk than it is a benefit. And again, that is something that the old regime would have done. I really hope that Brandon Beane is not dumb enough to fall into that trap.
Are the Bills a better attraction if Brady doesn't go back to New England? Are they a better destination now if Brady doesn't go back to the Patriots?
I don't think it's going to matter because I think the Patriots are still going to have that cachet. Brady won't be there forever, obviously, but they're going to bring in a veteran quarterback, and they're still going to be a force. What's going to make the Bills a destination is what they did last year. Showed everybody that they can play defense. Allen's competent, and the room with Sean McDermott, with Brandon Beane, it's not a clown show like the Sabres are. They are a solid NFL organization, and I think that's gaining some respect throughout the league.
Got to take a pause for the cause.